the bell so you can get notifications when I upload new videos, and smash the like button. You know what, y'all? I have just found out, not once, not twice, but 3, potentially 4 times. Bro, do you know that these businesses and these corporations are not legitimately running operations according to the letter of the law? Thing about it is, if you run your business according to the law, most likely you still gonna be able to get over on people. But the fact that y'all getting over on people and you ain't even following the laws is fucking amazing. I cannot believe these people try to extort my whole. Are you fucking serious? And don't like don't. You know, it says seek and ye shall find, right? Every time I get a question, I get an answer. And every time I need to know something, the teacher appears for me. Why would you play with me? Why would you play with me? When every question that I have, an answer appears in what seems magically. It seems magical. It's not magical. It's just the law of the universe. Why would you play with me? I am noticing, listen, y'all, I, and probably you, have been out here operating legitimate businesses to only find out that every institution and organization that we are supposed to be trusting in, they're operating outside the law. They're not even following the fucking law that they use against you, or that they say they use against you. The fact that I just ran into the same issue twice in a short, so quickly it came about. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Now I gotta find a way to fight these things without being in the court system too long. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get in and get out. I don't want to be in the courts too long at all. Okay, you don't want to spend too much time in the court. But I have just discovered that these companies, these corporations are fucking frauds. They're all fucking frauds. And I mean, you kind of have an idea that they're frauds. You just don't know how much of a fraud until they defraud you, 1, and 2, until you go looking at how much of a fraud. Because when you start searching for resolutions for your own situations and stuff like that, you start looking and you like, oh, these bitches is always frauds. These motherfuckers is fraudulent. These motherfuckers are schemes. They're scam artists. Now, this the thing. I mean, these motherfuckers is literally scamming folks. Oof. So, it's gonna work out in the end, but it's just like, what the fuck? When you find out how much they scamming you, it's like, ugh, good Lord. Now, the thing about it, though, is when you find out that they've scammed you, you got to try to find out if you can get equity from your findings, okay? So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm like, where's the equity? Oh, they scamming? Okay. Oh, they didn't document what they were supposed to document by the law? Okay. So now I'm like, all right. So where's my get back? Where's my get back? And I was looking at this guy today. He was talking about something. He was talking about some stuff. He kept saying, equity, equity, equity. I'm like, equity? There could be equity in these things. So, according to my recent life, it looks like I'm going to definitely be studying law. Because I gotta know how to get in the courts and beat these motherfuckers, okay? Because you won't be doing this to me and my family for the rest of our lives, motherfucker. So this is a whole new course of study for me. Honestly, I always knew that I was interested in law. I didn't realize I was gonna need it. I didn't think I was gonna have to, you know, like, but at this point, cause see, yo, what you not about to do. Okay, because what we not gonna do is play around with my life and the life of my loved ones. So, guys, these people are double taxing, double, triple, quadruple. These folks are double, triple, quadruple, just exponentially taxing. Okay. And the exponential taxing that they're doing, it is completely harmful to your quality of life. And I'm not here for the shit no more. And I'm apparently I'm going to have to be here for the smoke, the legal smoke. I knew I was going to study law, but I didn't realize it was going to be because I had to fight my own cases. You know what I mean? Like I had to get in the court and go to bat. This is frustrating. But in reality, you started seeing like these people are fraudulent. Most of the systems that we buy into or that we know of are fraudulent systems. Fraudulent. Like when I say fraudulent, I mean straight fraud. Like the motherfuckers is signing names and everything, okay? Motherfuckers be drawing up improper documents. Motherfuckers be falsifying evidence. All that. And it's just like, and the thing about it is they hide it under a bunch of jargon. That's what they do. They hide it under legal terminology and jargon, which is why my dad was like, get a Black's Law Dictionary. He kept telling me, get a Black's Law Dictionary. And I'm like, I know that, I know, but you know, I didn't realize how necessary, you know what I mean, it was going to be. Yeah, you got to get a Black's Law Dictionary because you got to understand what they're talking about when they say X, Y, or Z. And sometimes you think you know what something means, but then when you go look at a dictionary, the Black's Law Dictionary, you notice that this motherfucking word has 18 definitions. Okay? Then you cannot assume what somebody means when they are talking, especially legal language, legalese. Okay? And there's 18 possible fucking definitions. You got to be clear. I'm going to need clarity on what you are referring to. Which jurisdiction are we? You know what I mean? It's not which statutory language are we? I don't even know how to say it right, but what language are we talking? You got to ask these motherfuckers specific questions because they will talk to you in your face and pretend like they are using the fucking Webster Dictionary definition and they're not using the Webster Dictionary definition. But with my findings, I am finding that we have ways to work this system, but you have to be meticulous, you have to be smart, and you're gonna have to be very, very well versed and patient. It's a good thing I've got patience, right? I'm learning. It's so funny because it's like even when you think okay, I'm done, I've got this course of study. Listen, I am a student of life. I just am. Because I'm always learning some new shit. And now the new shit that I learn is going to probably be, you know, they say lawyers go to school for 8 years. you know? And then they have to do a bunch of practicing. They got to go to court. They actually have to, you know, fight cases, win cases, you know, search the legal terms and law. You know, it reminds me of that. You remember that movie or that show? What was it? Suits? And then they also had the one, how to get away with murder or something like that. You realize they had like whole, like 25 interns searching up knowledge and searching stuff up for them, for the lawyers, right? So imagine not having those resources, but needing the information still, right? Anyway, all I'm trying to say is just, listen, the system that we live in, I think the way that we're going to have to win is absolutely through our ancestors, absolutely through calling on our divine protectors, because these motherfuckers have loopholes for every fucking thing, and it's always for the system to win and for you to lose. Understand that. And I know a lot of people that like go to jail, or like a lot of people that like are like in and out of jail or in and out of courts. They know this shit, right? And being a Black person, you know it somehow, you know, you just know, but you don't realize how deep it is until you got to get in them law books, until you're trying to learn how to navigate the system in a way such that you can kind of operate outside of the system, but, you know, use the system when you need to. You have to know what these people are doing and saying, and I can guarantee you our ancestors did not know what they were doing and what these people were doing and saying. These people are professionals at fraud. They are professionals at bamboozling. They are professionals at scheming and plotting and separating you from your resources. That is it. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going back and I'm thinking about the 1933 when the gold standard changed, right? Our ancestors did not know what the fuck was happening. They did not know that these people were taking their gold and creating this fraudulent ass system to defraud them out of their lands and out of their properties. But that's exactly what they did. And they're doing it today. They are doing it today. They're still doing it today. If you've had, let's say you've had a foreclosure on your home, if you've had a repossession on your car, if you have had to pay, you know, exorbitant fees and taxes for, you know, for whatever the fuck, they are under your nose. They will tell you, oh, it's the law, it's the law. But when you read the fucking law, they're fucking lying. 1, 2, they're not even following all of the requirements to uphold that law or to make you uphold that law. They just tell you, oh, it's the law. And then they create a all the fucking rules that they have created so that they can fucking police you and throw you to fucking jail. This fucking system is meant to rape, steal, kill, and pillage. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers are still doing exactly what they did from the fucking beginning. And the whole fucking time, they've been doing the same shit. I was watching this video, this lady said the motherfucking homeowners association closed on her house, foreclosed on her property for $10 fucking dollars. The fact that she didn't blow the church up is amazing. I mean, blow the goddamn place up is amazing. Okay? Because what do you mean that I've been paying for this loan, that I'm still liable for this loan, that I'm still doing all this shit, and y'all motherfuckers gave my shit off for $10 fucking dollars, bitch? What the fuck do you mean? When you start looking into this stuff, and I'm looking into multiple different, there's multiple reasons why I'm looking into, you know, into the laws and things like that for multiple reasons, right? But each of the reasons, I need to know the law and I need to understand how to get my desired outcome out of the law. But when you go to study, to research, to gather knowledge, to gather information, you find that they make this stuff either difficult to find, super difficult to understand, or super difficult to implement when you don't have the experience, obviously. And then come to find out, the motherfucking courts ain't even got that kind of jurisdiction. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's literally like that. Like, these motherfuckers will get you in a court, but because they have these legal knowledge and these legal languages, these motherfuckers will tell you, oh, you do it, this and that, the third. The reality is, they're just trying to get you to agree, right? They're just getting you to comply with whatever the fuck, even though they are fucking lying. They don't even have jurisdiction over whatever the fuck that they're trying to do to you or say to you or charge you with. They don't even fucking have jurisdiction to do that. But they will never tell you that. You have to know it, and you have to find it out by asking the right fucking questions. I'm learning, never go into the court and say you understand what the fuck's going on. Nope, I do not. I don't understand. I'm going to need clarification, because when you find out, when you go and look in the Black's Law Dictionary and you just see the word charge has like 7 different definitions, and then so the word charge itself has 7 definitions, but charge can be attached to other terms that then exponentially add to what charge can actually be related to or talking about or meaning in the law. The reason why I'm frustrated, though, is because I understand now that I have been defrauded by the system, and I didn't even know I was defrauded. It was a year ago I was defrauded, and now I'm realizing they didn't even do that legally. So if you've been caused distress by any legal process, I recommend, by anything that's supposed to have a legal process, if you have been distressed by anything, I don't care what it is, that is supposed to have a legal process, I implore you, I encourage you strongly to go back and look at those details and that information, and go back and look at if there is a fault of the courts, a fault of the company, because of corporations, right? And look for the faults in those corporations, in their procedures or processes, the steps that they took to do what they've done, whatever it is, because I guarantee you're going to find a mistake. Guarantee you are going to find a mistake. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And I just found 2 mistakes on something for myself and something for Gino also. And it's amazing that this is just me and Gino, right? Imagine how many other people, same thing. So it's like, and then not even that, it's so many things. The property companies, the auto insurance, the auto loans, the bank home loans, the homeowners associations, the court themselves, the police officers. It's like the whole fucking system is a goddamn fraud. At the end of the day, like the stuff that I'm learning, so I'm learning from multiple schools of thought and multiple schools of life right now. So I'm learning about from all the way from secure party to like property managements, to like auto loans, to like securities and bonds. And I'm learning a vast range of information right now, and it's all related to things that are actually that have either occurred in the past or that are going on right now in my life. So I'm trying to get an understanding of certain procedures, certain processes, including you know, going to court and, talking to the judge and, the language that you would use and, how you would present yourself and things like that. Now, obviously, the basics that you know how to present yourself is professionally. You go in there, you stand there, yes, Your Honor, no, Your Honor, shit like that. But in terms of getting the results that you want to get, there are specific terms, terminology, and language, and how you will speak. It's going to be a little bit more specific than that. Listen, I live in a state where you can search about just about any fucking thing up on the internet, okay? So I am a research queen. I've always been that way. It's never not been that way, right? So I already know, like I've already known for multiple decades, the whole time I've been here, basically how to search various different things on the internet, records, research, archives and things like that. Like I easy. I know exactly where to go, But now that I'm looking at stuff and looking for stuff in order to find proof of this or that, I don't even know if it's disheartened or just, I should have known. I don't know if I'm shocked. I don't know if I should have known. I don't know basically how I think I'm just like, I can't say I'm dumbfounded. I'm not dumbfounded. I just feel it's like I should have known. These companies, these organizations, these corporations are fraudulent as fuck. Fraudulent as fuck. They're not doing the processes that they're supposed to do, which means that when they come and do other little things against you, and when they pose actions against you, it's illegally. So that's frustrating to find out. So your girls, I guess it's time to be that. I guess it's time to become a lawyer then, because it's independent, I guess. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I guess it's time for me to get into this law. It's time for me to get into the law. It's crazy. These motherfuckers are fraudulent as fuck. Like fraud, like literal fraud. Companies that you think you're supposed to trust. Companies that present as stand up. Companies that you believe in. Corporations that have been in business for so long. And they are literally fraudulent. They're defrauding the system multiple times a day. Well, I guess that's it for me tonight. I'm going to get off of here, but I just had to share that real quick. And in doing so, I want you to know something. Keep learning, keep growing, keep fighting, because at the end of the day, I think it's my belief. Listen, this brings me back to the conversation of religion holding us back. It is. Because every time I have a question, I get the answer. Not to say that you can't because you're in religion, but I'm just saying the answers come quick. And listen, when the student, what's the saying? Something about when a student appears, the teacher arrives or some shit. I don't know, something like that. But basically, when you have a new level of life, when you need to learn something, when you need to know something, the teacher will arrive. Teacher arrives. Teacher that I'm learning from has been on my, I've been following this person on social media for probably about 6 years now. Probably a long time already. It's like the information I was like, I already knew these people. They've been in my surrounding, or in some way they've been around for a long time. And then now, it's time for me to learn this information now. I'm ready now for that. And boom, there they are. And I'm talking fire, like this dude. So this one dude that I'm learning from, Yusuf L. Oh, shit. It's good to know that when you need something, you get it. You know, the answers are there for you. They will be there for you. You have to ask for it. You have to know it's going to come, and you have to trust that it will. At the end of the day, you know, this all even brings you to the thoughts of like, okay, so what about my family members that have been caught up in the system? We know that they just they use all these language. They use this jargon. They use this legal language, this legalese, throwing this jargon at you, and knowing that you won't know what the hell they're talking about. And they lock you up in the system. Or they lead you to lock yourself up in the system. And that's really actually how it turns out to be. What's actually happening is they lead you down the pathway to lock yourself in the system. That's what really is happening here. So this is why we got to get right. We got to get right. We got to really start getting to a space where we really trust in our intuition, our spirit guides, and things of that nature. We really learn to also trust that inner being too, and that source, that higher source. Anyway, I'm gone. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications every time I upload new videos, and smash the like button. I know this is not particularly all right, let me say this real quick. I was about to say, I know this is not particularly spiritual talk, but in reality, when we look at the legal system and the legal foundation of this country, and we look at how many people have been taken advantage of, how many people have lost their properties, have lost their money, have lost their resources, their lands, how many people have lost their lives to the system. We know that the system has taken trillions of people, billions of people, right? With that being the case, this is some knowledge that you can actually use to your benefit if you are, especially if you are like an indigenous, right? Because it's mostly our people, it's mostly the indigenous that they really want to lock up into the system like this for some reason. I feel as though it has to do with the land, right? Because like, look, if you are an indigenous, right, tied to the land, you always, even if it's 100 years, you always have a tie to the land. So they probably want to get you as far away from your land as possible so you can't reclaim it. So it becomes spiritual because we have to talk about the souls that were lost into the system, right? We have to talk about the spirits that have been caught in the system. And when we talk about the souls and the spirits that are caught up in the system, look, I got arrested about a week and a half ago. And when I tell you, I called, as soon as I was in that motherfucker and I really got a good look around, I saw exactly what they was there for. All these motherfuckers doing, let me tell you what they do. These motherfuckers is calculating numbers. These are about receipts, okay? It's about money. That's all it is. It's a fucking corporation. It is only about money. Because when I start calculating, like, depending on your charge is going to, your charge, or is it a charge? Depending on what your charges are or what you got arrested for is going to depend upon how much is on your head, like how much you're worth basically for the night, right? Or for the day, or for the week, or for the month, or for the year, right? So basically, depending on what you get arrested for, I'm assuming the worse of the crime, the higher the cost. Obviously, that's obvious, right? Imagine 10 people. Okay, let's just take a small number, right? And really, it's more than that because it was when I was in there was at least 30 people, and I would say much more than that. It's probably a good 50, 60 people just right there, and they were just knocking them out real quick, you know. Which is why They were getting mad at me because I wasn't moving as fast as they thought I should move or whatever. But I mean, ma'am, my arms are hurting. Okay, so like, what are we talking about here, right? But when I really got out into the general public and I started understanding what was going on, it was about numbers. There was a guy next to me, and the thing about it is they strip your belongings because they're looking for your money. You think that I mean, obviously they're gonna say, oh, I better not find a weapon. Of course they don't want to find a weapon. Of course, right? But in reality, they got a fucking money machine in that bitch. They have a fucking money machine that spits out a goddamn, what do you call those things? A ATM card. So this is about money. It has nothing to, it maybe a little, but nah, it's about money. This system is about money. That's it. And these motherfuckers got a money machine in this bitch. Like a fucking machine that will like, so I had $100, right, in my little purse. I look up when these motherfuckers get my bag, apparently. I look up, these motherfuckers put in my $100 bill in a goddamn machine. The fuck you doing that for? Because before you get out of there, you got to pay $35, right? And they told me this at the last minute. Well, if you have cash, we take that from the $35 from your cash. Without my fucking permission, bitch. Okay. So basically, it is implied that once you get arrested, right? It is implied, okay, that you are basically in their system and whatever they say goes, right? So just keep that in mind. It is presumed, okay? So anyway, I'm in there and I'm sitting down and, you know, I'm chill. Like, I'm really chill. Like, I'm a chill ass person, right? So I'm in there chilling. I'm just sitting. I ain't bothering nobody, I ain't talking, I ain't got shit to say, right? One person in front of me, they like, oh, $1,500. Well, my bond was only like $150, right? Then I thought about, you know, when Gino had gone in, his was like $1,000 or something like that. You think about it. There's like 50 people in here, you know, 60 people in here. And I was like 150, you know, there was a couple people there. I'm sure their bond was super low too. I wasn't going to pay the shit. I was going to sit there. Fuck you. Y'all ain't get no money out of me. Gino paid it, but I wasn't going to pay it. I was going to sit there. I was going to, hey, they can't hold me too long. I was going to sit there. Nope. I don't need to pay y'all no money. Okay. But, anyway, as I'm sitting there, I'm calculating. I'm just calculating. I'm thinking about it. I'm calculating. Listen, if most of you, the majority of the people coming there, charges are gonna cost you $1,500, $1,000, $5,000, $50,000. Think about it. The bond, $50,000. If it's a $50,000 bond, you gotta pay them what, $5,000 or some shit like that, like 10%. I don't know what the bail, like if you get a bail bondsman or whatever, like the percentage is, but you know, whatever the percentage is, that's what it is. But if you start thinking about it, like, these motherfuckers are moving fast. This is why they were getting mad at me, right? They're getting mad at me because, first off, I'm not new to this system. Second of all, my arms hurt, so I can't move that fast. So they're getting mad at me because I'm not moving fast enough. When you think about it, they're getting mad because I'm slowing the money down. Basically, these motherfuckers are calculating. This ain't got shit to do with nothing but calculations. It's all numbers. It is all calculations, and this whole system is surrounding that. Now, this is something that we've known. We know this. But when you see it in action, it's like, God damn. When you see it in action, this ain't about no justice. There ain't no fucking justice system. It's the money system. That's what this is. Ain't no fucking justice. It is not about no goddamn justice either. It's about money. So anyway, just keep that in mind, you know. So anyway, back to what I was talking about though. So from the spiritual standpoint, we look at all of this. Just think about it. Like, there's so many different ways for the system for you to get caught up in the system or get caught up from the system, right? That's either You get caught up in loans. You get caught up in car loans, house loans. You get caught up in, shit, loans for what? School loans. That's a way to get caught up in the system right there. Okay. It's energy. It's taking your energy from you, right? Then you have the prison system, prison industrialized system, right? And that is like, you know how they say they got the school to prison pipeline? Yeah, I can see that, because when you think about how schools are operating right now, the inner city schools operate just like prisons or like jails. They're all hot-tempered. They all got an attitude. They all are just trying to hurry up and get everything done. So it's like they're all just trying to get you to get in here and sit down and shut up. You know, and this is how they operated with school. This is how the inner city schools operate. The inner city schools operate just like the jail. Okay? So what you get to see is that, yeah, the school to prison pipeline is actually very evident when you start seeing the behaviors of the wardens, when you start seeing the behaviors of the teachers, of the administrators, and we start seeing the behaviors of the jail precinct and the people in there. Because I'll tell you right now, when I was in there, they're very hot-tempered. Very hot-tempered. They do not have no chill. They have no chill, like no chill at all. And they all seem to be very agitated and agitatable as well. So anyway, this is something to kind of recognize. Now I keep pointing out something and then kind of like bouncing back, because I'm kind of calculating in my mind through time. Like, we got to think about this is exponentially through time. I was in there for one day, not even one day, 12 hours. And in 12 hours, they were popping shit. They was popping the numbers. Like that, like fast. And they was getting mad at me because I wasn't moving fast enough. You know, they was telling me I was giving an attitude and shit like that. I was like, bitch, how you give somebody an attitude when you're literally calm? Like, how do you do that? So no, these motherfuckers was agitatable, and they just had bad attitudes. Like, just all around, they were just bad behaviored, right? So now when I'm thinking about it, they're calculating these numbers. So this is just the jail system, right? This ain't got nothing to do with the other ways in which they get you in this life. I didn't even talk about taxes. I didn't even mention taxes, right? They tax you on your property. They tax you on the money that you earn. They tax you when you buy things. How do you get taxed from every fucking end? So this is why it is so important to learn certain parts of the system, because you can escape, like, I won't say escape like you never pay any taxes, but just you escape the full amount of those taxes that you pay, unless if you are just like a regular citizen or a regular employee. So what you'll see is that the lowest on the totem pole are the ones that are paying the most money. You're paying the most if you got a lower credit, what do you call it? If you have a lower credit score, you are going to pay higher fees. You're going to pay more in interest rates. You are going to pay more to actually get access to loans. You're paying more all around. For people who have lower income, you're going to pay more, because at the end of the day, you are being taxed on the salary, the money that you're making, you're being taxed with that. And then when you go and purchase things, so you're being taxed every time you purchase something, right? So you're being taxed at a very high rate compared to other people who are doing businesses, operating businesses and stuff like that, who have access to large amounts of tax write-offs. I will tell you, me personally, I use any and everything for a tax write-off. Okay, anything that I can use in a tax write-off, I use it in a tax write-off. So whenever I go at the end of the year, of every year, I do what you call expensing out, right? So at the end of every year for my business, I go and I purchase things that I need for the business. I, get like, If you have like a business vehicle, at the end of the year, you want to expense out by going to get those new tires you need for the business vehicle, getting those oil changes, getting, you know, whatever you need fixed on the car, get it done at the end of the year, so that come January, you can file those expenses on the tax returns. So I do what, at the end of the year, I do what you call an expense out, and I expense everything out. So whatever I need for the business, whatever, you know, repairs need to be made for the business, whatever needs to be done in order to have the business run properly, I go and I expense out at the end of the year for sure. And in some cases, I would say it's probably even a good idea, depending on how much money your business brings in. Like I would say, at the end of the year, it's a good idea to go and buy new properties for the business. So that would be buying new equipment for the business. That would be buying new vehicles for the business. That would be, you know, buying new properties for the business if that's what you do. At the end of the year, that's what you want to do, that, because then when January comes, you're calculating everything for write-offs. So the lowest on the totem pole pay the most for baseball, just about anything and everything. Just period. You're going to pay more if you want to rent a place, right? Like if you want to get a place. If you have a lower credit score or whatever, you got to pay more. So this is just what I'm saying. So, okay, so we calculate that. We calculate that. Now, just imagine the stress that comes with the stress of having to worry about those various different things, those, you know, those car notes and those house notes and the taxes. That can cause stress on a person's body, right? Causing you to have to work. You know, you're working so much, having a lack of time to just chill, relax, and go on vacations and things of that nature. That steals your life force. So when you think about it, we calculate and go all the way back. All the way back. It's a slave system for sure. But particularly, well, yeah, no, for sure it's a slave system. It just is. It just is. So the sad part is you do have to learn how to operate their system in order to not experience the difficulty that you will if you don't, right? So until we kind of find a way out of this, which I do believe if more people get back into traditional spirituality, if more people get into calling on your ancestors, more people get to, you know, actually hearing your ancestors speak to you, you know, tapping into your higher self, to your higher portals. I feel that the more of us do that, the more the system will start to break down and the more leverage we will have, because we have the numbers behind us as it relates to spirit. So I feel like there's a couple of ways that the energy can be used. But one of the things that I've really been learning is just that everything is, they have to tell you the truth about everything, and but they do it like legalese, right? The legal terminology for charge, it has 7 different definitions. So you never really know what they mean when they say the things that they mean, when they say the things that they say. But you assume you know what they mean. And the law often operates from presumptions and from assumptions. So I feel like if you, definitely indigenous people from here, if they are operating the system right, and they are able to use not only your energy, but the energy of your ancestors as well, it only works if you are not familiar with the fact that that's what they're doing, right? When you recognize what they're doing, which is siphoning your energy for sure. Listen, let me tell you something. The way they was operating in that goddamn prison, like I said, when I say they didn't have no, it wasn't a prison, it was a jail. And I can only imagine if it was prison, right? Like the way they operate is such that they are hot-tempered. They have no, I really don't think that they have a lot of control over their energy or over their anger. They don't have a lot of control over their attitudes. Like, they literally are like snappy. They're like the worst. Okay, just think of the worst single mother. Like just think of a single mother who's just like always got a bad temper, a bad attitude. Like, she's just always angry. She's never happy. There's always something wrong with her. She's always screaming and yelling. That's how they were. They was acting just like that. Right? Like, just always snapping, popping off, yelling, just getting upset, like quickly, very quick to anger. And, you know, when you are somebody that's like in that system, like you're around that type of energy, it's very draining. It's very draining. So there's that. Then you have the systems that are causing you to work, right? Working low-paying jobs, working so much that you're not able to really stop working because you have to make enough money just to pay the basic bills, right? You're only working to pay your bills. You don't have any extra, you don't have enough extra money or this or that, right? So that also steals from your energy. That's not even including relationships and and that bullshit, right? Like, getting into that system of how you can have your energy taken from you as well. So it just makes sense why our ancestors had a difficult fucking time. But if we were to call on our ancestors and say, hey, I need y'all help, you know, simple things like getting a whisper from my ancestors, like, I done dealt with something like this before. You need to do this and that, right? Like, and then before you know it, you're talking to fucking people who've been studying law for 20 years, and you know what I mean? They're not lawyers, but they've been studying the law for 20 fucking years, and they know how to use proper terminology when talking to the court, and you know, they're telling you where to go look for certain information, and boom, there's the information that you exactly needed. So it's happening. It just needs to continue on. Like, we have to recognize that your oppressor is not going to give you the answer to get unoppressed. Just keep it real. Like, let's just be honest. And now that I've gotten in, and listen, I'm only at the tip of the iceberg in this legal stuff, and I can see that it is completely easy. I can see how easy it would be to get caught in that type of system. The legal system is probably is a web of lies. I'm sure it's a web of lies, and you can see that. And I'm not even in there. I ain't even dipped my baby toe in that motherfucker yet, but I can just see, based upon all the vast knowledge, the vast amounts of information that there are about this, and the way that the jail was operating, the way that the courts kind of operate, I can very much see that it is a fucking web, and it's a web of lies as well. So be careful, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna do a lot of research and really be setting my cases up so that I can kind of get in and get out with a win, right? Like, but it's important to note that stay the fuck out of trouble, okay? Because this motherfucking system is meant to get you caught up in it. Like, it's meant for that. That's the purpose of it. Literally, these motherfuckers don't even have jurisdiction to be talking about half the shit they be talking about, but they will never tell you that. And the way they talk to you as if they have the authority to do X, Y, Z. When you start looking at the laws, when you start finding out these statutes and looking this shit up, you realize you ain't motherfucking got jurisdiction, motherfucker. You lying like a motherfucker, right? So then you start learning from people who've been like playing around in the legal system for 20 plus years, and you recognize, okay, so they say, oh, you know, you got to say it like this, you got to ask this, you got to do this, you know, you got to ask these specific questions because of this and that and the third. Then you start realizing that this ain't no motherfucking game, okay? You don't want to play with your life with this shit, all right? So, but at the same time, it's like at the same time, you don't, first off, you don't want to play with your life with this, but at the same time, you can't let that source of information go untapped, because you have to know, because you never know what the fuck can happen. I got arrested. It was a fucking ticket. It wasn't even no arrestable thing. It's a fucking ticket. So now I'm looking at this legal shit because of that, a fucking ticket. And I got to figure out how to get this motherfucker off my record and all this other shit going on, right? So, but the point that I'm trying to make with all of this, though, is that you have to call on your ancestors, okay? You have to. And the reason for that is because your ancestors are going to guide you. They're going to say, hey, look, you're going in the wrong direction. Don't do that shit. Like, don't do that shit right there at all, okay? Or they're going to be like, listen, you need to do this, right? Or they might find a way. They may find a way for you. They might find a way to help you through whatever it is that you're experiencing or going through, right? Maybe you are maybe you go into the courts or whatever, and you're like, all right, spirit, ancestors, I need your help. Like, show me how to do this. Like, show me how to get out of this, right? And maybe your case gets dismissed like 2 days before you got to go to court, right? They just dismiss the shit. Why? I don't know, but it's Thanksgiving. Nobody wants to do this, like, right? I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, that's why you call upon your ancestors. So all these people on the internet, on TikTok, especially Christian, talking about your ancestors are demons just to turn around and deny feeding an infant. Are you fucking serious? You cannot be fucking joking with me. You fucking serious, bitch? You fucking serious right now. Okay? So you cannot trust that. Trust that people that are going to say things that are not going to be beneficial to you or not going to be good for you, you got to be able to see that, you know? And people who are talking about, oh, your ancestors are demons, are you fucking serious? Unless your ancestors were colonizers, how the fuck were they demons? All right? Let's just start there. Okay? Just want to say that real quick. Yeah, I got to say that. Okay? Your ancestors are going to be there to help you. Okay? You're there. You are there. And you can always say, my ancestors that have my greatest, highest good at heart. My ancestors that have the best intentions for me. You can say that too. But don't call your ancestors demons, because then you are saying that you don't want their help, and then you are saying that you're basically condemning your ancestors, which is stupid as fuck. Stupid as hell. So anyway, the energy of your ancestors is always the energy of your ancestors, right? Your ancestors is always going to be your ancestors. You are always going to be their offspring, which means that they could potentially reincarnate through you or through your children. So why wouldn't they want you in the best position possible? Doesn't even fucking make sense. Like, some of the arguments don't even be making no fucking sense. My ancestors are demons. Bitch, if your ancestors is gonna come back and reincarnate in life, they're gonna reincarnate through your dumb ass. And maybe not, because look how you acted. Look how you talking, you know? But you need to know that, because your ancestors are going to guide you, okay? All right? They're gonna fucking guide you. Trust me. They don't say you need to stop doing that shit right now. Okay, whatever the fuck you doing right there, that's stupid. Don't do that. Or they're gonna tell you, okay, I'm gonna work this out. I'm gonna figure this out for you. They be figuring shit out for you, whispering in people's ears and shit, doing shit to help you get further in the journey. All right, because one of the things that I'm noticing is that the more that we call upon our ancestors, the more of us that do it, the more the system is collapsing. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. The system is built for them. And it is whichever of us figure it out and work through it, we'll get through it, but it is not built for the majority of us to be successful. It's just not. It's just not. Because a lot of us are very good-hearted, good-natured, very good-natured. That's the thing. We're literally good-natured. And these motherfuckers is out here not low-key. These niggas is out here committing fraud as an everyday practice. So on an everyday practice, these motherfuckers is operating with dirty hands. And you on a general basis are operating with clean hands. There is going to be a difference in how you guys think, period. So that's the difference right there. This is why you have to call on your ancestors. Because your ancestors can call shit out. Oh, these motherfuckers right here, they got dirty hands. They operate that way. They operate dirty. So when you go in this situation, no matter what these motherfuckers do, stay calm. When you get out of here, you're going to get some money from this. I know that sounds crazy. It does. It sounds crazy as fuck. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell you is that you have to kind of use the resources that are available to you. And right now, the best resources that we have are those of the unseen. The best resources that we have are those of the unseen. All right, let me go. Have a good night. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications every time I upload a video. Smash the like button, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.